All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am back with the college football wrap up of this week, and I've had a little bit of time to cool down a little bit, kind of assess everything. Obviously, if you watched my video from last night, it was like directly after the game. Record was hit while Bama was taking knees. And after having a little bit more time to digest and reflect and think, I stand by everything. Absolutely everything I said. Georgia has got to, at minimum, get rid of Mike Bobo. The play calling was atrocious. It was insane. It was nonsensical. The game management from Kirby Smart was unbelievably stupid. I mean, for goodness sake. You had I believe it was early fourth quarter. Early fourth quarter, and you have an opportunity at a chip shot and to tie the game, and you do not take it. Early fourth quarter, get the tie, get the stop, drive down the field, get the field goal. But you didn't do that. And then early on, and then later on in the game, you have poor game management with calling that timeout with 2:23 left in a 3rd and 1. I mean, a 3rd and 1, and you haven't been able to stuff them at all. And that's been another big issue over the last number of years for Georgia. You have not been able to stuff them. The offensive line has gotten weak. The defensive line can't they can't bring pressure. That has been an ongoing issue for years. And Ty Simpson, he's not a guy that's going to burn you every single time with his feet. It's not Jalen Milroe. He can be run down. And here he ran all over. I mean, 4 sacks. 4 sacks, and he dropped back 38 times. And then you have a quarterback, Gunnar Stockton, who is statistically the best quarterback to ever come out of the state of Georgia, high school-wise. And you only drop back and have him throw 20 times. And most of those were screen plays. Because Mike Bobo has no idea what he's doing. Which is astonishing, being a coordinator as long as he's been. I mean, Todd Monken goes, okay, let's go get a young offensive coordinator who has a very creative mind. No, we go to Mike Bobo because Kirby Smart sticks to what's comfortable, and that is why Georgia will never win another national championship under Kirby Smart. And at Georgia, if you are a head coach that cannot win the Natty, you're a fired coach walking. Period. Stuff has got to change at Georgia. This isn't the Bama team of 2020. The last couple of games that it's been Georgia, Alabama. Georgia has had the far more talented team. And yet, Bama's the one that walks out the winner each and every single time. Every time. Without fail. I mean, and like I said last night, don't call it a rivalry. ESPN's been calling it a rivalry. I've seen people online call it a rivalry. It's not a rivalry. You need both sides to be butting heads and getting the best of one another consistently. This isn't a rivalry. This is an annual, guaranteed kick to the balls for each and every single Bulldogs fan, and alumni, and player. Every single time, it's a guaranteed shot to the nards. Every single time. It's not a rivalry. It's not a rivalry. So we can end that. So, and then the other big prime time game that happened last night. Penn State, Oregon, the whiteout. I mean, the chips were down, and Penn State, once again, on schedule, blew it. They messed it up. They were able to get it tied late after the offense was non-existent for 3 quarters. They were able to get to double overtime, only to have looks like, what in the world? Only to have it be picked off in the second half. Obviously, I didn't watch too much of this game. I was focused on Alabama. So, I'd have to go back and at least watch the highlights. But, I mean, it's on brand for Penn State. Big game, big environment, and come up short again. On schedule. And I know there's going to be a small contingent of people out there. Well, Penn State did win a playoff game last year. Yeah. Who was it against? I think it was Boise. Yeah, that's not big game environment. That's overpowering talent against a school in the Pacific. It's not even the Pacific Northwest. It's out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, that's not a big game environment. But, when Penn State played Alabama in the big game environment, or when Penn State played Notre Dame in a big game environment, chips were down, and Drew Allar threw it to the wrong guy again. So, now Penn State, they have redemption. They have opportunities at redemption. Although the road is much, much tougher. They do have to go to Iowa. They do have to go to Ohio State. And then they have to play Indiana. And then they got at Michigan State and then Nebraska. That is a tough road. And if you want to go to the James Franklin's big game experience, he's losing two of the 3. He's losing to Ohio State. He's losing to Indiana. Kinnick, yeah. I don't want to go to Kinnick. That's a tough place to play. Then at Rutgers, they ain't bad. I don't remember how they did yesterday. I think they lost. Yeah, they lost. They lost to Minnesota in a close battle. But, I mean... oh, that's always nice. But, yeah, I mean... Oregon, they're back to being legit. I have no concerns about Oregon. They're gonna be a playoff team. They showed it. And with James Franklin, I mean, the calls for his job is, I'm going to say, justified. You're what, 4-20 against top 10 teams? You got 4 wins over top 10 teams over the past, what, 10 years now? I mean, it's a problem because you're going to have to beat top 10 teams to win a natty. Like, you're not going to be able to skirt around that. So, that's the reality. You're going to have to go a different path if you want to win a national championship at Penn State, for Penn State. And he gets you the 9-10 wins a year, but this is Penn State. It's national championship or bust, especially a year like this where you have so much experience, such great coaching, and now your back's up against the wall. You're looking at least 3 losses, and 3 losses as Penn State is not going to get you. It's not going to get you to the finish line. It ain't. It's not going to get you in the dance. So, congrats to Oregon on the big win on the road. And then, oh boy, the family affair in Oxford, Mississippi. Lane Kiffin against his daughter's boyfriend that plays for the LSU Tigers. I mean, God, Whit Weeks is so freaking good. He is so good. But Trinidad Chambliss, he played tremendous. 86.9 QBR, and I mean, Ole Miss, they played well enough to win. They earned this win. Absolutely deserve it. They're going to be a top 10 team when the AP poll comes out, and well, by the time you watch this, it'll be out. But Brian Kelly, oh my goodness. I don't know how you keep him on after this game. The game management was absolutely horrific. You had misplaced timeouts, poor clock management. I'm trying to remember most of this game off memory, and the trauma that I've suffered after that with the Georgia-Bama game. But, I mean, the horrific game management. And then he comes out and he calls out Garrett Nussmeier, which he didn't play great, but he didn't play terrible. 75 QBR. Yeah, he had the 1 pick, but Chambliss, he returned the favor. And 59 rush yards. LSU. I mean, what the hell? LSU has a history of being able to pound the rock. And yet, under Brian Kelly, they cannot do that. Their longest run as a team was 10 yards. 21 rushes. Like, that is... Like, I don't care who you are. That's absolutely unacceptable. You can't even get 3 yards a carry? And I get Ole Miss's defense is very, very good. But you can't even get 3 yards. You can't call out your quarterback when you have given him nothing in rushing. Nothing. Jack, squat. You have given him nothing. And you're going to have the nerve as a freaking coach to come out and call out your quarterback when you have pretty much asked him to put on the Superman cape each and every single time. I don't care how old you are. I don't care what class you are. I don't give a crap if you're in the NFL. You cannot put everything on somebody's shoulders, especially in a game like this, and say, go win us the game. I did say Oklahoma's the great experiment, but Oklahoma, they have a defense that is out of this world right now. So Oklahoma's a great experiment, but I think Brett Venables is actually a good coach. He's got a tremendous offensive coordinator. He's got a tremendous quarterback who is injured right now, and hopefully when Matera's out, either that they can at least steal a game that they shouldn't. But more on that later in the week. But I mean, it is absolutely unacceptable from Brian Kelly. Absolute joke. And then we go on out to Texas to College Station, and we watched as much of this defensive war as we possibly can, and oh my goodness, is A&M legit? Probably not. Are they better than the bottom of the barrel of the SEC? Yeah, yes they are. They absolutely are. Now, both quarterbacks had a QBR of 35.1. Average is 50. 18 of 33. Jackson Arnold, he's not this like quarterback where you can say, "Hey, we need you on this. We need you to win this game for us." He's not that guy. He showed it at Oklahoma. He's showing it again at Auburn. And not only that, you're not even giving him a run game. Like, LSU's was unacceptable. This is worse. 2.2 yards a carry. And 15 carries, 15 of the 24 came from Jackson Arnold. You want to talk about firing? Yeah, Kirby Smart, time to go. James Franklin, time to go. Brian Kelly, time to go. Hugh Freeze, you gotta go. Now A&M, they'll likely beat Florida. They're gonna beat Arkansas. LSU, probably not. Missouri, nope. South Carolina, probably not. Stanford, I hope so. And then Texas, we'll see if Arch Manning gets his head out of his ass. We'll see. But, I mean, Auburn, it does not get easier. Georgia, that's a loss. Missouri, a loss. Arkansas should be a win. Kentucky, that's a loss. At Vanderbilt, that's a loss. Mercer, Alabama, that's a loss. So, you're looking at 5-7 again? Yeah. That's that's fire territory. That's fired territory. And oh my goodness. Alright, so we got some breaking news. Alright, well, we got some breaking news. Sam Pittman has been fired from Arkansas. It literally, as I'm recording, has come across my phone, the ESPN website, has not even put it up yet, but Sam Pittman has been fired from Arkansas. So, we'll talk about that later in the week. And then, not much to say with Indiana, Iowa. Indiana went on the road. Tough game. Tough place to play in Kinnick. Got the hard-fought win. Illinois redeemed themselves, beating USC at the buzzer. And then we have Florida State. The game against, you have Florida State on the road against Virginia. And you can say that, you can say what you want. Friday night on the road, it's a different environment. It's tougher to play, especially when you have Miami on the horizon. You have an undefeated team on the horizon in Miami. Is it going to take the luster away from the game? Yes. But in today's college football, you can take that kind of loss. Is it a bad loss? Yes. But it's not the end of the world. Like I said, Friday night on the road with a the number 2 team on the horizon, your in-state rival on the horizon. Yeah, it was a look ahead. It was a trap game, and they got caught in the trap. Just plain and simple. Not gonna read too much into that. Not gonna lose any sleep over that. If you're a Florida State fan, you shouldn't. They're gonna be back swinging. And Arizona State pulled off the upset. Nice, good for them. And then yeah. So I think I covered the bases on that, on everything I wanted to really talk about. But yeah, pretty much moral of the video. A lot of people need to be fired. Let me know who should be fired first. Sam Pittman does not count because he has already been fired. If you are a fan of Penn State, if you are a fan of Georgia, if you are a fan of LSU and Auburn, do you want your coach fired? If yes, who are your top 3 candidates to replace the current coach? Let me know down in the comments. Alright? So, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything. From racing to football to news to true crime. I'm doing it all here on the Dylan Elder Show, and we'll see you next time.